Recording in progress.
So go ahead and find your way to mountain pose at the chair. It's that one that we always start in. Put your feet on the floor. A tall spine, hands comfortably in the lap. Give yourself any little stretches your body is calling out for. See if there's anything you could do to make yourself feel comfortable. And then if it feels safe to do so, you can close your eyes. Let's just spend a few moments here in the beginning, lightly observing ourselves to see how we feel. This is like our little check-in in the beginning when we're establishing like base level. Just seeing how we are doing. So from here, we'll start with a little breathing exercise where we intentionally slow down the breath. So to do that, we'll kind of count silently to ourselves when we inhale. I'll do an example 1, and then we'll count when we exhale 2, and just make sure that the exhale lasts about a beat longer than the inhale. So for example, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on at your own pace. After a little while, you might find that your inhales get kind of slow too. And that is okay, just as long as those exhales stay longer than the inhale. Here in the end, noticing how that type of breathing made you feel, if it had any effects on you. And then let it go. Let your breath go back to whatever pace comes naturally. And we'll start to move. So inhale, shrug your shoulders up, and then take them back and swoop them down like a big circular motion. Take it the other way. They kind of go down the front, up and over the back. Inhale, reach skyward, stretching through your fingertips the whole way, and then flip your palms, come on down. A couple more times. Really reach, reaching the whole time. One more. Lovely. Hands come to your knees. Let's cat-cow the spine a little bit. So rounding your back, tucking your chin, and then sliding your hands along the thighs and looking up, squeezing the elbows toward each other behind you. And then exhale, take another one of those cat backs. Inhale, back to your cow spine. Back and forth. Oh, goodness, making me yawn. It's been an overcast, rainy day here, but the storms. Not in our neighborhood anyway. Just thinking of our neighbors up there in Springdale who got hit by a tornado early this morning. Maybe one more stretch and hold in whichever position you landed in. 2 or 3 breaths. And take it the other way. Holding. If for the cow, if this doesn't feel stretchy enough for you, I kind of like to just take my hands back with the palms front and just send them as far back toward each other behind me as I can. Feels good to me. Lovely. Okay, let that go. So to open up our twisting motion in the spine, let's just keep it pretty simple. You keep our legs in place, have all the action happen up here in the torso, and just kind of shimmy back and forth. So after a little while, it can kind of get bigger, deeper. You can look back behind you, maybe even whatever feels good, but just not forcing anything. Treating it like an exploration rather than something you got to get done. Okay. And then lastly, let's open up the side of our bodies. So how about we do that from our goddess position? And that's the one where we separate the feet a little bit. I'm going to actually turn my chair to the side. It's a little bit more comfortable that way. So feet separated a little bit, and we'll go back and forth. So starting with the right elbow down here on your thigh, reach up and over with the left fingertips and kind of swoop them down until you really feel stretchy over here on your side. But let's keep it moving at first and ease our ways into it. So inhale to center, exhale, dip down the other way, reach, reach, reach. Inhale to center, and then go back and forth. You may find that with a little bit of time and a little bit of movement, you can open things up and stretch a little deeper. And if that's the case, so maybe the elbow comes inside the leg, or maybe you reach down to the floor. But only if that feels good. You can stay up here with your elbow on the thigh the whole time too. How much more on each side, wherever you're at. And then we'll meet ourselves back here in this work. Okay, so let's do we might do our moon salutation too. Sounds good to me. Starting with the sun salutation. That's the one where we start back in our mountain pose, but we give ourselves a little bit more firm of a stance. So inch your toes forward just a little bit and then inch them apart from each other a little. Inhale, reach skyward, mindful of your wingspan. Stretch, 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 and reach. And then you have a choice. You can bring your hands down to shoulder height and like swan dive forward, or use your hands on your thighs, especially if you tend to get a little dizzy when we do this. And then round your back. Exhale all the air out and round and be heavy and hang. Inhale, flatten yourself back out like it's the motion is like you're being pulled through the crown of your head, like you could jut yourself forward. Exhale, round. Twice more. When you're ready, deciding how you want to come up, you can reverse swan dive or you can use your hands to help you. Go nice and slow and then reach up to the sky. Exhale, hug right leg in. We didn't do this at all on Monday and I missed it. I missed our sun salutation. So, because we spent the whole time on the upper body. Okay, so circle your right ankle while holding the leg in. If you ever have trouble getting the leg this close to your body, you can use whatever you have handy, a towel, an old belt or tie, something like that, to loop around and hold it up as high as you can get it. So reverse your circles with your ankles if you haven't already. And then let's go ahead and cross this leg over, keeping our foot flexed. And we're going to work on, so this, it's stretching the hip here on, but on the other side, on this leg that we have up. And let's ease our way into it since we're here still at the beginning, so warming up some. So exhale, kind of lean out over your legs. Inhale, come back up again. A few more times like that. So you notice I'm not rounding. I have a little bit of a lift in my chest. It's more like I'm trying to place my stomach on the shelf of my legs. That's the motion I'm going for. And every time I go into the fold, I feel a little bit more stretch over here in this hip. I go a little lower. But I'm using that sensation, that information that I'm getting from my body to tell me how deeply to go. So maybe one more and we'll hold this time. 3 or 4 breaths. You can count to yourself. Especially if you're on a day when your mind is really busy, often counting the breaths is just a little trick to help keep you focused. Come on back up. Place this foot down on the floor, slide your hands along the thighs, lift the chest. Let's try all that on the other side. So inhale, reach. Exhale, hug the left leg in, circling your ankle while you're here. Other way. Crossing this leg over, foot flexed. And exhale, ease your way out over that leg. Inhale, come on back up. It's almost like you're riding a wave of the breath. Exhaling forward. Inhaling up, back and forth. Maybe once more and then hold wherever you land. Breathing, 3 or 4 breaths here. Come on back up. Feet on the floor once more. Slide your hands along the thighs, lift your chest, squeeze the elbows and shoulder blades together. It feels good to me today. Okay, inhale up. And then swan diving forward or using your hands to help. Come on over the legs, stretch your back one more time. Hang, be heavy if you can, reach down toward the floor. Inhale, lengthen on out. And we're letting gravity do some of our stretching here. Exhale, hang. Once more. Inhale, flatten and lengthen back out. Exhale, hang. Help yourself up slowly. or take that kind of power move to reverse your swan dive. So as promised, let's do our moon salutation now. I haven't done that one in a while. It's fun too. Okay, so salutation. Start also in mountain pose. Knees lined up over the ankles, the tall spine. And then we go through the phases of the moon. So inhaling, reaching the arms up, interlace your fingers up here, and then exhale over to your right side for our little crescent moon shape. Breathing. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hug the right leg in, kind of like our half moon. And then placing both feet on the floor, open your knees up to that goddess shape. The knees and the toes are headed the same direction, like 45 degrees away from the midline. And then do your little cactus elbows, goalpost sort of arms, elbows at shoulder height. So this one's supposed to symbolize the full moon, but I like to throw in star pose too, just because I think it's fun. So kick your heels up, your toes up, reach through your fingertips, straighten the legs and the arms. And release. So we go through the phases in reverse. Find your way back to that full moon. And then hug your left leg in for a little half moon. And then foot back down on the earth. Inhale, reach skyward, and then dip over to the left this time for a little crescent moon. Lovely. All right, come back to center. Let it go. Let's stand up for a little bit and do some balance. I'm going to lead it through the one that makes us feel a little bit, or makes me feel a little bit like a ballerina. But really what we're doing is going through all the stabilizing muscles that are here in our thighs, and it gets into our abs a little bit too. And of course, challenges the muscles in our feet and ankle, which are all very important for helping us with balance. So it looks a little something like this. You can pick whichever leg you want to start with. Just have your chair close and handy in case you need it. It's your safety net there. And then lift the other leg up just to see kind of like your check-in with your balance each day. It's always a little bit different. So see how it's going today. I automatically sort of looked off into the distance because that helps with your balance. You can find something not moving out there to stare at to help you. So let's kick this leg to the front. Take it in and just hover it above the floor. Then with the foot flex, kick it out over to the side. And then still with the foot flex, kicked it behind you. Maybe you've left yourself enough room. I haven't. There we go. Okay, so those are the three moves. Next time, let's do them a little bit higher. So kick to the front, a little bit higher than you did the first time around. You can always challenge your hand to kick over to the side. And kick to the back. Okay, and then this last one, take it as high as you can, but we're going to hold it for about 3 or 4 breaths. So kicking to the front. Great. So take it in and then kick it to the side. Holding. And to the back. Don't be afraid to tip your torso forward. There's no sense in kinking up the bottom of your back when we do this one. Lovely. So just to show how powerful you are, kick one more time to the front and then let it go. Other side. You might want to shake out that standing leg, give it a little TLC. The one that we just worked. And then let's try the other leg. So testing this one out. Focus in the distance, see how wobbly you are on this one today, maybe reset. It's always a little bit more challenging on a soft surface. And then let's slowly get into this. So kicking our lowest setting here to the front, just testing it out. Bring it back in, hover the foot. Kick over to the side. Bring it back in, kick to the back. I couldn't leave myself enough space again. Here we go. All right, so this next, kick it as high as you can to the front. To the back. And then this last round, here we go. We're going to kick it up as high as we can and hold it for about 3 or 4 breaths. Bring it on down, over to the side. Bring it on down and to the back. Lovely. Letting that go. Come on back down to your seat. Let's stretch out those lower body leg muscles that we were just working. Extending your right leg, toes up to the sky, hinge forward. And sit on, try the other leg. And sit up tall again. So let's do our lunging pose because it stretches this thigh and hip flexor muscle that we were just working. So you can either turn your chair to the side or kind of scooch out to the side of your chair and send, I'm starting with my left leg. I'm going to send my left leg back first. I've got my toes tucked back there and my heel up, and then I'm going to press into the floor. And that's really what activates that stretch. If all of this is too much of a kind of pretzel move for you, put this leg out here over to the side wherever you can, and then press your foot really firmly into the floor. Okay. Okay, let's try it on the other side. Just scoot out of my chair and then sending this other leg back. Toes are on the floor, pressing into the floor. Trying to sit up tall. Let it go. Lastly, let's take one. So you can grab the back of your chair or interlace your fingers together back there. Either way, kind of bend your elbows, lean back, and then straighten them and lift your chest. And release. Okay, and then for this last little bit, you can either go straight into whatever meditation posture is comfortable for you. Or if you want to join me in playing around with how a forward fold feels, we're going to do kind of a long hold on a forward fold. So this is not recommended if you have any sort of osteoporosis. If any doctors ever told you to avoid forward folding, then you need to listen to them and not do this one. And then the other group of folks that this might not be all that great for is if you have issues with low blood pressure or like wobbly blood pressure. It might make you a little bit dizzy. But all that said, either finding your way here to just a tall spine and comfortable meditation posture, or if you're joining me, come out over the legs. I widened my stance a little bit just for comfort, and then just hang. It's like we do in the sun salutation, but we're just going to spend a little time here. Breathing. You can close your eyes. If after a while you feel comfortable here, you can try grabbing your opposite elbows, and that will create this sensation of your upper body being even sort of heavier and more dangling. And then whenever you're ready, slowly coming on up, using your hands to help you, maybe round your back and take it real slow and have your head be the last thing that really comes up straight again. And then settle into your meditation posture just for the last few moments here. We'll simply watch our breathing. Anytime your mind wanders away, other thoughts, trying to gently, without judgment, bring your focus back to your breathing. Watching your inhale, watching your exhale. And so, keeping your eyes closed, but letting go of the focus on the breath, let's take a couple of little neck stretches for the road before we go. Dropping your right ear down towards your right shoulder and reaching away with the left fingertips. Maybe even resting your right hand ever so gently on the side of your head. Go ahead and try it the other way. Left ear down toward left shoulder, reaching away with the right fingertips. Maybe the weight of the hand on the side of the head. letting that go. And slowly open your eyes, and that's where we'll take one more big inhale together, sweeping the arms up, palms touch, and then travel to the heart. Thanks, guys, for being here. I hope you have a lovely weekend.